Before coming to Canisius, I thought it was just about football and academics, but I was very wrong. Before Canisius, I went to a small Catholic school called Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament. There were only 20 kids, so going to Canisius would be a huge change. Freshman year football, I met 40 or so kids at camp before school even started. This made me feel more comfortable coming through the blue doors on day one. Through each football season, we only grew closer. My football friends taught me to persevere through practices and to keep going when I was injured. That same summer, my family faced a rather significant challenge. My sister had gotten her first hip surgery due to being in a car accident that April. Before my sister's car accident, she and I would always fight and argue. After the accident, that all changed. We became like best friends, and she depended on me to help her by driving her places and simply talking about how she felt. Even today, my sister and I are very close, and she still relies on me because she just had her third hip surgery on December 21st. From the accident, I learned that it is important to stay positive and not to take family for granted. I often choose to help her over spending time with friends because I value our relationship and time together. Katie, who is Chojnacki to you?
Hardworking, dedicated, and determined are just a few things that come to mind when thinking of Christopher. Most importantly, he is my brother. He is always there for me. I'm forever grateful for the bond we share and all that he's done for me. I am so proud of the man he's become throughout his 4 years at Canisius.
These lyrics really sum up what we've had to do.
Today, live like you wanna. Let yesterday burn and throw it in a fire. In a fire, in a fire. Live like a warrior. Today.
I chose this song because with the accident, we've had to throw the past in the fire and be positive looking forward.
In a fire. Your heart is so heavy from things you carried a long time. You've been up, you've been down. You're tired and you don't know why. But you're never gonna go back. You only live one life. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go.
I did track, but football was my passion, which made my next experience even more difficult. As freshman year went on, I was kind of shy until sophomore year. Sophomore year is when I stopped being shy and tested the waters a little bit and slacked off academically. The summer going into my junior year, I had wrist surgery, which made me miss my junior year of football. This allowed me to focus more on academics. Junior year is also when I finally grew up enough to know that I needed help in math. My first math test, I got a 65, and I knew I needed to do something. I started to see Miss Voida for extra help. I did not realize that help was working until I got a 90 on the next test. After I saw the grades go up, I went to Miss Voida every morning and afternoon. This helped me form a great relationship with her. Although math was very tough for me, I was not defeated, but I learned that I could do it if I put in the effort. I learned to trust my teachers and to rely on them for help when I needed it. Miss Voida, who is Chojnacki to you?
I would say Chojnacki is a very honest, mature, outgoing, and hardworking student that I've had the pleasure to teach 2 out of his 4 years here at Canisius High School. He takes his academics a lot more seriously now. His sophomore year, he wouldn't complete homework assignments, wouldn't study for tests. I'm noticing now that he is preparing for his upcoming tests as well as different events that he's volunteering in. I was a little nervous that Chris wouldn't pass his sophomore year. He is now scoring above mastery levels in Algebra 2 Trig as well as pre-calculus.
One of the most impactful experiences junior year was my immersion trip to the Dominican Republic. I had hoped to go there since I heard about the trip in Mr. Cumbo's 9th grade English class. I awaited the letter, but my dad got to it first and told me where I was going. I was shocked to be picked. Then I met the group of guys, and I really only knew two of them well. Before going on the trip, Matt Donnelly and I didn't really like each other, but that all changed, and our friendship continues to grow.
Matt Donnelly, who is Chris Chojnacki to you?
Chris is he's a reliable friend, great guy. Over the past 4 years, talking to Chris, kind of getting to know him, he's really one of those like genuine, honest, kind of down-to-earth personality. He likes to joke around, good person to joke around with, but he's also a guy you can have a very serious conversation with, and very relatable as well. I know that over the past 4 years getting to know him, that he's definitely a person that I admire and enjoy talking to every day and kind of spending time with him throughout the school year. And I'm hoping that after Canisius that we can kind of continue to talk just because of how much I've enjoyed getting to know him over the past couple of years.
I was walking far from home, where the names were not burned along the wall.
I was a little nervous to go on the trip due to the language barrier. Although I was not the best at communicating with the people, I worked hard each day digging trenches. And even though I could not communicate that well, after a few days I found myself joking with the Dominicans at work. I also spent more time with my host brother playing cards and developed lasting friendships. The part that was the most eye-opening was going to a garbage dump and giving out food. There were people looking for food, and a woman was eating a part of a fish that was covered in flies. This shows me how much I take things for granted, such as when I complain about having something for dinner, when there are people who look through garbage for their next meal. I felt helpless. What was the one cookie and raisins going to do? I knew at that moment I wanted to do more to help. This is one of the reasons I chose to go to Deauville, because they also do a service trip to the Dominican Republic, and I'm anxious to continue serving the people there. Ms. Cortese, who is Chris Chojnacki to you?
Chris is a loving person who I've seen as someone who always puts others before himself, and the needs for others always before himself as well. He sees the good that's in people's hearts, and so much so that sometimes he doesn't even concentrate on himself, which is not a negative thing. On the contrary, I think that our world needs more of the kind of people like Chris, who has genuine goodness and genuine kindness, the kind of kindness that Chris possesses.
So a prisoner, take a pistol and say, join me in song, join me in song. So a car crash in the country, where the prayers run like weeds along the road. I saw strangers stealing kisses.
The Dominican started as nothing more than strangers to me until we worked and played side by side with a common goal that week.
And a pair of hearts carved into a stone. I saw kindness and an angel crying, take me back home, take me back home. Saw a highway, saw an ocean. I saw widows in the temple to the Lord, naked dancers in the city. How they spoke for us all, spoke for us all. I saw loaded linen tables and a motherless colt, and it was gone. I saw hungry brothers way down with the radio on, radio on. I was walking far from home, where the names were not burned along the wall. So a wet road form a circle.
I was looking forward to the senior year football season and having my parents cheer from the stands. I had that image since I started playing. Going into camp week, I knew that I was undersized, but I kept working and giving it my all. As camp week was winding down, it looked like I might get the starting job. The coach pulled me into his office and told me that I was not going to be the starter. I didn't really know how to feel. I felt like I let down my parents because they had made so many sacrifices for me over the 11 years I played. Although I didn't get the starting job, I knew I still had to give it my all in practice and support my teammates. Eventually my hard work paid off and I started one game due to an injury. Although I only started one game, I feel like I made my parents proud by not giving up and being a good teammate. Through this experience, I was not defeated, but I learned the importance of working hard even when things don't go your way and being a good teammate. Mom, who is Chris Chojnacki to you?
Christopher is an amazing son who has overcome many obstacles in his life. He is kind, compassionate, and full of life. He learned quickly that life does not go as planned. Life is full of disappointments. But it's through those disappointments that you grow to be a stronger person, a better teammate, a better friend. And I cannot be any prouder of him for the way he carried himself through this past football season. Christopher not only helps his sister and grandparents, but also his neighbors. I am proud of the man Christopher has become and can't wait to see what the next chapter of his life has to offer.
Have to buy a ticket. Can't you give me 5 more minutes? Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing.
As you've heard from the people in my video and through my experiences, I may often put the needs of others before my own. That can be viewed as a strength and a weakness. I have grown to become a stronger, committed young man, to continue to do my best and not settle or give up when things are tough. I can't wait to see where my journey takes me in college and what's ahead.